G'day, welcome to another Wimbledon channel video. This video is looking at the adversarial system. This is for legal studies, the crime core topic. Now, a lot of people probably don't really think of the adversarial system as a system in itself. They think that's just the way courts work. But there are actually different ways that courts function in different countries. The two main ones are the adversarial system, that happens in most Western countries like England, the US and Australia. But there is another system called the Inquisitorial System, which France uses. Now this is quite different. See, in the Inquisitorial System, the judge is the investigator. The judge collects all of the facts of the case, investigates, asks questions, witnesses, and then eventually makes a deliberation. Now that's completely different to the adversarial system, where the court, the judge and the jury are supposed to be impartial and are supposed to listen to the facts as they are collected and presented to them in two opposing sides, the prosecution and the defense. So the adversarial system is a simple concept that says the prosecution will bring a case seeking to prosecute somebody, a defender, and they need to prove beyond reasonable doubt that this crime was caused by this person. So there are some positives and negatives of both sides, as there are with most things. Probably one of the main issues with the adversarial system, I believe, is that it sets up quite a combative environment, when sometimes that's incredibly unhelpful in certain situations. An example of this is sexual assault cases, where the onus of proof is on the prosecution, as it should be in all cases. That makes it incredibly difficult, where most sexual assault cases involve not public places, where it often comes down to one witness's word against another. And so what we see are usually women being subjected to cross-examination by a lawyer who is seeking to bring doubt into the jury's minds about the testimony of the victim. And this is an incredibly hurtful and painful experience. So the adversarial system can have quite a detrimental effect on those people taking part in it, especially victims and witnesses who are forced to give their testimony and who are then cross-examined, often in a really strategic way, by a well-paid lawyer who has all the evidence and is seeking to catch out the witness, or is seeking to introduce some doubt to the testimony of the witness, to introduce enough reasonable doubt. Now, saying that, the adversarial system says that you are allowed to have the best defense possible. So it's this question of, well, what does that look like? And it sets up some very ethically grey areas and areas in the past that have been incredibly problematic to deal with. So there's the adversarial system, set out how it works, and just briefly one example of where it has some negative consequences for those taking part in that system.